Well, for more, we're joined now by Dr. Aykan Erdemir, Senior Director of the Turkey Programme at the Foundation for Defence of Democracies and a former member of the Turkish Parliament. Good evening to you, and thank you for being with us.
Good evening.
So as we just heard there, President Erdogan is very much invested in Africa, projects worth an estimated $80 billion already. Is it a strategy that's paying off for Ankara?
Now, I would argue that the symbolic value is more important than the financial value, because although Turkey's trade volume with Africa increased fivefold over the last 20 years under Erdogan's rule, from $5 billion to $25 billion, this is still only 5% of Turkey's overall trade volume. That is, despite the increase, this is still not a significant part of Turkey's trade volume. And most importantly, I think for Erdogan, the political, diplomatic aspect matters more than the financial aspect, given Turkey has a warm welcome in Ankara, a warm welcome in Africa, while Turkey has various problems in its relations with its main trade partners, namely Europe and North America. So for Erdogan, this is also part of his overall political Islamic project that welcoming Africa offers him the possibility of expanding Turkey's soft power and also recruiting new clients, which happen to be more challenging when it comes to Turkey's relations with the West.
Yes, well, let's talk about that, because more and more African governments are investing in Turkish drones. How deep is military cooperation, and is that something the US should be paying more attention to?
Now, again, I would argue that the military cooperation is also still quite symbolic. There were two phases to Turkey's outreach to Africa. The first phase was between 1997 and 2002, when Turkey had a secular government, and under the auspices of Turkish Foreign Minister Ismail Cem, Turkey had a more trade diplomacy and soft power outreach to Africa. But over the last 20 years, Erdogan's outreach is more political, and aims to expand political Islam at home and abroad. Now, at home, the issue is pro-Erdogan businesses tend to be on the lower end of the technology spectrum, and they compete with Turkey's dominant secular businesses, which predominantly export to the West. So that was the goal at home. But abroad, Erdogan not only sells attack drones to a number of African countries now, but also has military presence in Mali, Libya, and Somalia. So for him, this is not only a way, this relationship is not only a way to support his pro-Erdogan client businesses as they reach out to Africa with their trade where they can compete, but also through these military sales, which also provide African countries an opportunity to improve relations with the Erdogan government, especially because these drones are manufactured by a company managed by Erdogan's son-in-law.
Oh, quite. Well, is the flip side of that Turkey might find itself embroiled in conflicts in Africa, such as in Libya, for example, that it then can't get out of further down the line?
Now, I think a Turkish president has no qualms about getting deeply involved in Africa, even if it entails military presence as well as, boots on the ground and fighting. And in fact, on the diplomatic front, we have already seen some clashes between Turkey and France, as France is wary of Erdogan's growing presence. But this also serves the Turkish president at home, because this is exactly the portrait he would like to paint back in Turkey. Given Erdogan has lost in the Middle East, in Europe, and in North America, both in terms of soft power and in terms of influence, economic and political influence, Africa now offers an open playing ground, which Erdogan can present back at home as, look, we're welcomed in Africa, we're competing with big powers such as France, and this is one victory that he can present back at home.
Dr. Erdemir, I'll have to leave it there. Thank you very much indeed.
Thanks for having me.